kids, it's Mrs. Davis from Happy Place to Grow. I am so glad you are back here with me again today because we've got a special activity that we're going to do together. It involves a pencil and some paper. We are going to be drawing a book character. You know I love reading, but I also love to express my thoughts on paper by drawing. Now, I know out there you might be saying, but Mrs. Davis, I don't draw very well, or I don't think I can draw a book character. Yes, you can. You know, when I teach my students how to draw a character, I tell them, number one, you can do it. And then I tell them, number two, drawing is very unique and special, and it's your way of showing the world how you feel. So just express, trust yourself, you can do it. And then I give them my third tip. You know, if I look closely at most pictures, most simple drawings, I realized when I was looking very closely that a lot of book characters, whether they're people or animals, are simply sketched out by using shapes, two-dimensional shapes like squares or circles or rectangles. And I realized if I would just tune in to the shapes that I'm seeing in the drawings, that I could use simple shapes to help me create pictures. So that's what we're going to do today. Now we're going to be drawing a book character from this story, Lily's Purple Plastic Purse, written by Kevin Henkes. And I have also read this. If you've not listened to me read this story, you're going to want to check it out on my YouTube channel, Happy Place to Grow. Such a cute story and a very cute character who gets into a little script scrap at school because she brings her purple plastic purse. Yeah, it's funny. Now, Kevin is not only a really great author of children's stories, but he also is a fabulous illustrator. Yeah, he's been doing it since he was young. So he got to start when he was little. So hey, if he can start and be successful, we've got to start somewhere, right? Now, we're going to be thinking about Lily. And you know, every time I draw Lily, I've drawn her many different times, she comes out just a little bit different. And that's okay, because art is very individual and it's very unique with each person. These are a few of the lilies that I have drawn over the years. I just practiced doing this one recently. There she is. Now you're going to need a few things to help you with your drawing today. So I'm going to wait here while you go around your house and collect a few things. You're going to need some white paper. Now, I have a little sketchbook, but you could use, if you've got even lined paper at your house or a notebook paper, any kind of paper is fine as long as it's clean and white. Hey, when I go to the store sometimes, they even wrap up my breakable things in paper, and I save that and use that. So you're going to need some paper, clean white, and you're going to need a few things. You're going to need a pencil. You know, I love drawing with pencil first because if you make a mistake and kiss a snake, you can always erase it. So make sure you have an eraser. This pencil that I found at my house does not have a good eraser. So I've got this handy dandy eraser. You definitely need that. You're going to need some coloring tools. Now, I love crayons because you can blend and shade really well with crayons. You can lighten your picture, you can darken it, and crayons seem to last a long time. So go get something to color with. I'm going to put mine right here. And then If you want to outline your picture before you fill it in with color, you could use some black markers, or you could even use one of your crayons. So I'm going to wait right here, pause the video, and then we'll get started in just a second. Let me arrange my stuff and get ready too. Okay, are you back? Do you have your items? Awesome. Let's get started. Now I'm going to think about the character Lily. I'm going to draw this picture right here from this poster. And if I look really closely at the character Lily here, I notice that her head, what shape do you think that most resembles? Sort of like an oval with a point, maybe a teardrop shape. So I'm going to start with the head, and I know when I position it on my paper that I'm going to need it to be up high on my paper because I've got to draw her body as well. So I'm going to start with that, and I'm going to be thinking about the teardrop shape. And when I've done Lily before, this is the one I was practicing on yesterday, I just started at the edge of the paper and sort of went forward. So that's where we're going to go. And remember, it's okay if we make a mistake because we can erase. Definitely, we've got our erasers. So let me sort of get positioned here. I'm going to, I think I'll use that. Yeah, put it on my clipboard. Nice hard surface. Okay, so let me get my glasses on so I can see up close. All right, let's be brave drawers. So I'm going to start about right here, and I'm going to go up, and then I'm going to come back and go back around. So let me do that. Let me draw. So that was my first step, drawing that way. So I'm arching sort of like a hill. Remember, I'm thinking about shapes. I'm thinking about things that help me draw simply, all right? I'm going to come over here and just pull back around. It sort of might even look like an eyeball when I'm done. Let's see if I can get my shape going. There we go. Ooh, I love it. So I just came back around and closed up that shape. This is going to be Lily's nose, and then I'm going to add on some semicircles, not quite a circle because they're behind her head a little bit, for her ears. So I'm going to be at the top, and I'm going to draw a semicircle for one of her ears. So I just kind of sketched around, and then I'm going to go up and around again for her second ear. And I'm going to put another little layer right there because we're going to put pink inside there for the inside of her little animal ear. Now, the thing I love about Kevin Hinkey's drawings, you know, he draws these cute little mice characters, and I don't normally like mice in real life. I mean, they're not my favorite creature, but he makes them so cute. They're just adorable. I'm going to go ahead and put a little circle for Lily's cute little nose. It's going to be so cute. There we go. See how simple? We've already got Lily's head. Now, I love, again, how simple Lily is. With an eye, I don't have to worry about drawing the details. I'm just going to draw a little arch shape for her eye because she's so excited and happy. She loves school. She loves her purple purse. So I'm going to go right here in the middle of her face and draw her eye. It's closed. And then a simple mouth is going to come, and we're going to go up like a bow up. Just go up, lift up, curved line. And again, if I made a mistake and I didn't have it in quite the right space, I can always erase it. And then let's give her a happy smile. How simple was that? Now I'm thinking about Lily's dress, and it's sort of, have you ever heard of the shape trapezoid? A trapezoid has 4 sides to it. And Lily's dress is sort of trapezoid. I'm going to go up under her chin, and I know that I'm going to go out. I'm not going to draw her arms yet. I'm just going to draw the shape of her dress this way. I'll add those arms on in a minute. So I'm going to go from her chin down, and I'm going to kind of curve the hem of her dress. Okay, so I'm going to start here, and then I'm going to go down, but not straight. I'm going to curve. Not curve, but slant. So here I go. Slanted line. See? So I just went here, and then I went out. Not straight down, but I slanted. Now when I do her dress, I'm going to make wiggles. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. If I want, I could go down this way. Yeah, let's do that. That seems like a better step. That way I'll know where to close. So I'm going to go up under her chin again and go with a diagonal. I'm going to do it down here because it'll just be a better straight line. There we go. There we go. Now I'm going to go wiggle, wiggle. I'm wiggling, just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle for the hem of her dress. I saved just a little space for her legs. Okay. Now I'm going to come back with her arms. She's got one arm that's kind of out. So that one's going to come out. And I'm thinking about what two-dimensional shape does her sleeve look like? Did you say a rectangle? You're right. So go out like a rectangle. There we go. Now I really have trouble drawing the fingers, so I'm just going to do the best I can. Remember, it's your drawing, so just do the best you can. They're kind of like a hot dog shape, sort of, and we're going to give her, I kind of ran out of space on my paper, but that's okay. We got it on there. Remember, every time I draw her, she's just a smidge different. Now this arm is kind of out, and I've done Lily a couple different ways. See, I've done it out before, stretched it out back there, and then this one I actually did where her arm was down and she was holding her purse. Hey, it's my art. We can do it the way we want. This way I'm going to draw, again, another rectangle, and we're going to have it just, again, a diagonal sort of going out behind her. There we go. I love it. Again with the fingers. Okay, just do the best you can. Sometimes when I'm drawing, I'll say, oh my gosh, that looks terrible. Let me erase it. And my kids will laugh. Okay, so we've got some fingers now. In this picture, she's holding a purple flower. If you wanted to, you could draw her little purse like I did in this one. This one I gave her a purse and a flower. Hey, they're different every time. And that one just a flower. So I'm going to do the little flower in her hand behind her. She's so happy. So I just drew, again, sort of like a rectangle, squiggly line. And flowers are fun because they're just little kind of puffy. I start with a circle for the inner part of the flower. And then I just kind of loop around it with some ovals. Loopity, 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 loop. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now she is wearing a backpack. So I'm going to give her her backpack lines, her straps. And we're going to go on the back here. And just a little bit showing because most of it's on her back that we can't see. So just a little smidge is showing. And I'm going to, the little line kind of went through. Okay, now we're going to think about her legs. So one is curved because she, she's doing like a, well, you can't see my leg, but like she's bending it backwards. And I'm going to use sort of a rounded, more of a curvy, but it's going to be a rectangle because her leg is long and skinny, sort of like a noodle in a way. One is going to kick back, And then the other is going to be on the ground. Let me try the one on the ground first. And I have to save just a little bit of space for her boot because part of her leg is her boot. So I'm going to give her a rectangle leg, not finished yet. And then this one is going to curve backwards just a little bit. Okay, and then part of it will be covered. I'm going to erase that. I noticed that my line on that one, and this is where I have the most trouble. But again, I'm okay with it. Handy dandy eraser. I got that one leg just a little smidge too long. Because remember, part of her leg is going to be that boot. Now, she wears her nifty red boots, and they sort of have like a little heart shape right there. So when I make the boot, I'm not going to draw a straight line. I'm going to draw like sort of a heart shape at the top, kind of curved. And then I'm going to go down, down, and I'm going to make a little heel. Remember, her boot in the story went clickety-clack, clickety-clack. And then we're going to do the same here. We're going to go heart, heart, because it's got a little wiggly. And you know, the boot might not be exactly like its other boot on the other foot, but that's okay, as long as they look like little boots. Now the star. Do you have trouble drawing a star? So I was thinking about a simple way that we could draw a star, and I'm going to start with like an A shape, like the letter A. And I'll do it in this boot. So we're going to make an A shape right there, but we're not going to close it up, okay? And then we're going to give it straight line, straight line, straight line, straight line. And then I have to pull in and in. Just pull in. And then I'm going to go back out, diagonal, diagonal, and then come back in and in. So let's try, oh, this one's going to be hard. I'm going to turn it this way. It's be easier to draw. I'll start with that little A shape. Okay. And then arm out like your arms are going out. But then I have to pull back in, and then go out, out, in. There we go. And there's her little heart. Now, if you have trouble drawing, you know, you could just do a circle and then put some triangles around it, or you could do a snowflake, line, line, line. You know, just whatever. Just get something in there that looks the best you can as a little star shape. Now, on her dress, she's got some, it looks like circles with dots in them, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. On some of my dresses, I've done little wigglies even. It's okay, just put some design on there. Just design it up. I like to fill in a lot of different spaces. You got to put a few on her arms because she does have those same little pattern on her arms. I'll give her one right there. There we go. Now she is almost finished. Now above her head, because Lily loves school and she loves her purple plastic purse, and she's just happy, she's got a little heart. She's thinking about how much she loves. So when I do my little hearts, I just kind of do an up and around it, bring it sort of like an ear shape, and then come back again. There you go. And then these lines are like thinking lines. Oh my goodness, she's almost finished, but we're not finished yet. What do you think we need to do? Our last step. Yep. It's time for us to do some coloring. Now, I like to outline my art before I actually color it. And so you could do that with a black marker if you have it. You could trace over all of the pencil lines with black marker, but I'm going to use today just whatever color I'm going to use for each of my objects I'm going to trace. And for Lily, for some reason, I love to trace with a gray. So I'm just going to go over all of Lily's body parts with my gray crayon. I'm going to show you in just a second. And so you can see. And I really love to trace because the thing I love about tracing is it gives me a sense of where I have to fill my colors. And you have to be really careful with your tracing because you can't erase that crayon. It's hard to erase. I'm going over her mouth and her eyelid. And now I'm going to trace in those fingers that look like hot dogs, sort of. She's very simple. Again, I love that. I'm going to do her legs too, because that's part of her body. There we go. Now I'm going to pick up my pink crayon. I'm going to go up to the top. I'm going to outline that heart because it was pink. And color that in. There we go. That looks good. Now, her dress is pink, but those little bullseyes or little designs in there are purple. Like a shade of purple. And the cool thing about a box of 24, you've got all kinds of different purples. And you know, if you want to, you don't have to fill her in with the same colors as this poster or the colors that I'm choosing. So I'm going to outline her dress with this purple that I've picked out. And again, drawing is so fun, and coloring is even, I think, better because you can really express with the different colors that you choose. And it's your art, so you can pick whatever colors you want. I'm outlining, and then I'm going to go ahead and get a different purple. Oh yeah, that's going to be great for those little squiggles and dots. And I suppose if you wanted to just even, you know, sometimes I like to do things exactly like the artist. And then sometimes I like to stretch out and use my own imagination. So you could do that too. You could put whatever you want on your Lily. You could make her look however you want her to look. Yeah, there we go. And then, you know, her backpack was green, so I'll be coming back in with my green. Now, I want to do all my tracing before I actually fill in with color because I don't want to, when I'm shading in, I don't want to color over. Ooh, I see that I missed a little bullseye there. And I'm also, while I've got my purple out, going to go ahead and fill in that flower, because in the poster here, it is purple. And so I'm going to be exactly like this artist and go ahead and color Lily's flower purple. Yeah, boy, she is looking very nifty. I'm going to go ahead, since I'm thinking about filling some spaces, I can go ahead and fill in her green backpack. The thing I love about a crayon is you can press as hard as you want or as soft as you want. If you go softer, you're going to get a lighter green. If you press just a little bit, you're going to get a darker green. And you can shade in, you know, however you like. And I like to go, I teach my students to go in the same direction with their crayons. Don't go this way and then this way and then this way, because it gives your coloring sort of a scribble scrabble look. So you want to do your strokes in the same direction. And if you have a big space, you're going to color longer strokes, or if you're going this way. If you have a shorter, like right in here when I fill in here, I'm going to have to use shorter little crayon strokes. You have to take your time. You have to really work on your artwork. All right, I'm going to grab my, let's see what this color is called. It is called Red Violet. So we're going to use Red Violet, and I'm going to go ahead and let me reattach that. I'm going to go ahead and fill in the dress. Let me go ahead and fill in that one spot right here. And I'm going to do a lighter shade. Now that I've already done my designs and I've went ahead and done those in the purple and darkened those in, I can just go right over it because her dress is the main color. So again, down here, I want my strokes to be just a little bit shorter. Okay, so you're going to do that. Now the cool thing about Lily is she is a white mouse, so we don't have to worry about coloring her in. So you're just going to keep going like that. You're going to fill in her dress, and then I'm going to show you how to fill in her nose and ears with pink. So remember that little ear spot right there? We said the inside of an animal's ear sometimes is a soft skin color. There's fur on the outside. And then let's give her a little pink nose because it's kind of skin. It's got her little pink right there. And then I'm going to fill in her boot with red. Oh, you know what? I just realized I forgot Lily's tail. She's a mouse. I better get her tail in. Did you notice that I forgot the tail? Well, the good thing about drawing is I can just add that in. I'm not finished until I'm finished. And I'm okay with that. Now I'm going to come under her dress because her tail is behind her. And it's sort of starts out as a rounded, sort of a rounder rectangle shape, tube shape, if you please. But then we're going to do a little point for her tail. So it's going to be fat and chubby up here. It's going to be skinnier down here. And she's got a bow. Triangle. Remember, we're going to use our shapes and a triangle. And then a circle makes the bow. Whoa, I almost forgot her. Can't forget a mouse's tail. Okay, now let's get those boots colored in. This is where I'm going to use red. Remember, on her dress, I'm using a violet, red violet. So it's kind of a pink and a red together. This is true red. I'm going to outline those boots. Nifty, nifty. Remember when she walked down the hall, if you listen to that story, and she loved how her boots went clickety, clickety, click. But we're going to go around the star. But hey, if you wanted to color the star in a color, you certainly could do that. Again, it's your art. Remember, I'm going to go really slow around these small spaces. I've got to control my strokes. And her bow is red, so I'm going to trace red, trace that circle. Again, you could trace everything in black like a coloring book. She is looking so nifty. And I am going to go ahead and finish her up. And I want you to get to work on Lily too. If you've been drawing with me, then great. If you want to go back and watch this again and finish her up, you can do that. I'm going to work on her dress. It's a big space, so I'm going to be filling that in. I'm going to be filling in her arms. Now, the last thing I want you to do, because every artist has to sign their work, you have to autograph it. So you can put your name wherever you want. I'm going to put mine at the top. I always love to sign my artwork, of course. And I like to put the date. And then my final thing, since this is a book character, I'm going to label her name. I'm going to start with a capital L because special names. Start with capital letters. Her name is Lily. And I'm going to do a curly Q for my little Y right there. Well, I'm going to finish up Lily's dress. I hope that you have had fun drawing this character. Remember what we've learned today about drawing. Don't be intimidated by drawing. Think about the shapes that you see, squares, circles, triangles, rectangles. Practice drawing and definitely use pencil because pencil is your friend. You can erase, and if you don't get it right the first time, that's okay. Just erase and do it again, or turn it over on the back side and start over. But drawing is a fun way to express how you feel, and you know, as you practice it over time, you will get better and you will be able to use your imagination. Let your art skills go wild. All right, kids, I have had so much fun drawing with you and working with you today. So until our next time together, as always, keep those pencils going. Explore with colors.